Hello there, I'm Jimmy Vegas, and where I live there are about 20 different charity shops within a couple-mile radius of my house, and I tend to visit these charity shops every single week to have a look around. If you're from the UK, you know what a charity shop is, you're familiar with them, you see them everywhere you go. People give stuff to them, they sell it and give the money to charity. That's basically how it works. If you're not from the UK and don't know what a charity shop is, I think the closest kind of thing you can put it to is something like Goodwill or a thrift store, that sort of thing, where you can go in and, like, if you're a buyer, you buy almost anything, just random stuff. And the good thing about charity shops is, if you're a game collector like me, then charity shops don't actually know the value of some of these games. Yes, they overprice them, but they also underprice them. They also don't know what they are half the time. I found GameCube games inside DVD collections because they've no idea what they are. I found Xbox games with toys because they don't know what they are. Some charity shops do know what they are and will price them accordingly. They'll put them like to kind of CEX prices or eBay prices, that sort of thing. So you do kind of avoid some of them. But others are like a gold mine because they don't fully understand what these games are worth. Now, I want to give you a couple of examples of games that I have bought from charity shops in the past. This one is Scribblenauts Showdown. It's a PS4 game. It's not worth anything, really. But I picked it up. I can't remember how much for because it was quite a while ago. But I've got that from a charity shop. And like I say, the beauty of it is that they don't really know what they are half the time. And I actually picked this up from a charity shop. This is Rage 2, sealed from a charity shop. Obviously, when I buy things from charity shops, I don't look, I'm not happy to pay lots and lots of money. So these are probably a couple of pounds at the most, which is like a couple of dollars. I got this as well. It must have been last year, I think. But sometimes when you go to charity shops, they are a little bit under par in terms of quality. Like this one, for example, I don't know whether you'll see it on the camera. Wonder if I can get that to focus. But there's damage to the spine there. But again, it doesn't really matter. That was in the DVDs and Blu-rays section. Because I guess they had no idea what it was. And the most recent, it's not the most recent now, but 2 weeks ago, I actually got this for £5 from a charity shop. I do think they kind of knew what it was. I think CEX sold this at the time for around about £8. They probably still do. But it's a good indication of you can go to charity shops and you can find stuff like this. And it takes a while. Honestly, it takes a while. I watch a guy called B-Rad. His name's Brad. I think he lives in Wales. And he tries building collections. He's built an N64 collection with just £10. And he goes to charity shops, does trades, buys things, trades and all that. So he built a massive N64 collection with just £10. And he's currently doing it with GameCube. I'll link to him in the description if you want to go check him out. Shout out to Brad. Awesome channel. I love watching him every single week. My most recent trip to a charity shop store, I bought more than what I'm going to show you from different stores, but this is from one specific store. And it was about a week ago from you watching this video. And one thing on here you will have seen on my posts, where I've done a poll to say what should I unbox. Anyway, it's not game related, this, but I picked up this. It's a Mr. Bean box set, and that comes up. It was £1. You can't knock that. This is why charity shops are useful. This, Big Bang Theory, season 7, 50p. Can you see that? 50p. Unbelievable. It's sealed. Now, whether I do, trade them in or keep them or sell them on eBay, I do kind of look to get some stuff from charity shops and trade them into CEX for vouchers to buy other games. But there's a video coming up about CEX on this channel. Oh, go CEX. But this is the killer, right? So what I'm going to show you now is a PlayStation 5 game. The PlayStation 5 game is sealed. However, it was not where you expect to find it in a charity shop. This. It's quite big. I don't know if it picks it up. Let me go back a bit. There we go. So this, right? I've never even heard of this game, okay? The Many Pieces of Mr. Koo Collector's Edition. Now, I didn't find this with DVDs. I didn't find it with Blu-rays. I certainly didn't find it with games. I found this with the board games. And I paid, does that come up? £3. I don't know what it's, well, at the time I didn't know what it was worth, but I knew for £3 I had to get this. The charity shop obviously thought it was just a board game. That is the beauty, the absolute beauty of going to charity shops if you're a game collector. They had no idea that this is a video game. They had no idea what this is. And to be fair, looking at the back, does that come up? You can probably, first glance at it, oh yeah, it's a board game of some kind. So they've just stuck a £3 sticker on, and £3 is about $4, $4.50 for a brand new sealed collector's edition of a PlayStation 5 game. This is why, if you are collecting games, you need to go to charity shops all the time because they get new stock in all the time. There's been times where I've gone to charity shops and they've had a new selection of games come in, and there's loads of people always there straight away trying to see what the games are because they're doing the same thing as me. They're either collecting or flipping it at CEX to collect other games. That's how it's working. And you'll always find, like I say, some charity shops don't know the value of things. I got this game from that charity shop that I told you about where they just don't know the value of things. So there is one particular charity shop where I've got a lot of merchandise, gaming merchandise from, because they don't know what it's worth. They just don't know what it's worth. And I don't think it's necessarily a chain one, like British Heart Foundation. I tend to find them are the ones where things are a bit overpriced. So I do tend to avoid them a bit. But it's like the independent sort of ones that I go to actually try and find some of these games. And obviously, that being in with the board games is unbelievable. I don't know how long it's been with board games because it's not something I go and look for. It just caught my eye and I thought, yeah, all right, I've got to go for it. But when something like that catches your eye, that's it. I'm going to be looking there all the time now for other collector editions like that they think are board games. You'll also get to the point where you've got like a collector's edition of some game and they've put it with the Blu-rays because it's a box and they think it's just a Blu-ray box set, not a video game. It's actually worth money. So, that itself, I can trade that into CEX for way more than £3, whether it is voucher or whether it is cash. So regardless, whether I keep this or not, I have made my money back one way or another. Because for £3, how can you pass that up? Seriously. So I am, when you watch this video, I'm probably already out at the charity shops again, trying to pick things up. I don't know whether I'm ever going to do videos in charity shops because I feel a bit uncomfortable. Like filming inside charity shops and stuff like that. I just feel like it's invasive on people's privacy. But if the demand is there for me to do a video where you want to see what I pick up from charity shops, then let me know. Seriously, let me know, because if it warrants it, I'm more than happy to maybe do some sneaky footage of what I find in charity shops. I don't know. It depends how I feel. But it's certainly something I could, show you in a video once a week that I've picked up from charity shops, whether it is sealed DVD collection. I don't even know how much this is worth because I didn't look. I was just amazed that it was a whole season for 50p and it was sealed. So, I'll pick stuff up like that. I do also pick up other stuff from charity shops, things like kids' toys, and I don't really do clothes or anything because a lot of people have this impression of, at least in the UK, a lot of people have this impression of a charity shop being a horrible, dirty, smelly, disgusting shop with dead people's clothes. And okay, yeah, it kind of is to some degree, but charity shops are evolving, they're changing, they're not quite what you expect anymore, and that's why you do find things like this in charity shops. And I would love to know how that PS5 game ended up in a charity shop. It just confuses me, because whoever has given that in also doesn't know the value of it. Even if it was just a PS5 game, they don't know the value of it. They've not gone into eBay or Amazon or CEX and had a look and searched for it. I don't know, maybe they thought it was a board game as well. Maybe it's some kid's game and the mum has kicked off and said, no, you're naughty, I'm trading all this in, I'm giving all this away. I really don't know. I'd love to know the origin stories of some of these things I've picked up, but it is what it is. Anyway, that was the story of how I ended up with a score at a charity shop. And obviously it's not the only one. I have got other things as well. Hopefully there'll be more things in the future as well. But please do let me know if you would like to see me hunting charity shops and that sort of thing, CEX, whatever. But like I said, there is a video on CEX coming real soon because it has recently been resolved, but I'll get into that in another video. It's an interesting one. But until the next video, please, guys, there'll be some videos around. Click them, whatever. Like, comment, subscribe, do all that YouTube stuff. That would be pretty awesome. I'd really, really appreciate it. And hopefully I will see you in one of my next videos. See you then.